Morning, I'm Maria Hyslop and I'm married to the lovely Tommy Hyslop. I hope you've been enjoying the summer devotions and getting something out of them, because I certainly have. And I would like to talk to you about how God goes before us. And normally, if something happens, we don't realise at the time until we're maybe in the middle of a storm or something, and then we start looking back. We were on holiday last year. I took a photo of a car, the back car of a windscreen, and on it was Psalm 91. The last Sunday we were all together in the church before the coronavirus came along with the close. At the 10 o'clock service I read out Isaiah 41:10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with your righteous right hand. Dismay is another word for distress, usually instigated by something unexpected, but God promises to uphold us. At the family service, Lynn Lightbody read out Psalm 91. At that time I didn't think too much about it, but in the following weeks to come, Psalm 91 would come back to me on many occasions. If you don't know, I'll just fill you in. My husband ended up with the coronavirus and he ended in hospital for about 92 days. Psalm 91 is a prayer of protection and faith, especially when times of trouble are upon us, and very effective when it's prayed from someone who loves God. Pestilence means a deadly and overwhelming disease that affects the entire community. Last year when we were on holiday, we were out snorkelling and Tommy got into some difficulty and nearly drowned. When he ended up in hospital with the virus, it got me thinking back, and I was thinking about his lungs being full of pneumonia and I'm struggling to breathe. I thought that must be a bit like drowning. The word pneumonia comes from pneuma, an ancient Greek word for breath. Breath also means spirit. I'm sure we can all think back to the start of the pandemic when movements were very restricted and we couldn't go to visit people, we weren't allowed in their houses or anything like that. So when Tommy ended up in hospital, I was actually having to deal with the doctors, different things, and I found the situation really quite hard at times, because I didn't have anyone there really to comfort me. You didn't have family, couldn't be there, they were only at the other end of a phone, or your friends standing out in your pathway or something like that. Nobody could really comfort you, give you a cuddle. They done their best obviously, but the hardest part of all was I couldn't even be with Tommy. I couldn't hold his hand or comfort him or anything. Sometimes God puts us in a place alone because he wants you to realise you don't need anybody else, you only need God. I had to anchor myself to God. You get different types of anchors. One is called a claw anchor. The claw anchor works in a very similar way as to what Campbell showed us. If you haven't seen it, you can have a wee look at maybe one of his devotions a few weeks back. But you're hanging on to God and God's holding on to you. But if you let go, God doesn't let go of you. He hangs on to you. He'll hold on to you. So that the claw anchor actually works in very much the same way. As it's dropped into the water, it digs into the sand. It's normally more than that claw anchor gets used normally on a softer ground, sandy grounds, gravelly grounds. But it digs in and it holds fast. And as the boat is getting tossed around, the anchor will just keep digging in and holding fast. God also gives us that peace that only comes from him with his spirit living in us. Doctors are preparing you for the worst. But the peace that you have and the faith you have is telling you something different. Then you think, have I got it wrong? Are they right? But that peace that you've got only comes from God. That peace and the reassurance that you know He's showing you things and He's giving you that feeling. And you're sometimes struggling, thinking, God's telling me this, but they're telling me something else. And that's when you've really got to hang on to God's promises and your church family praying with you and really just dig in like that anchor, hold on and know, God has got this in control. He's the one that's in control. He's the one that's giving the doctors and the nurses the right decisions to make. It's hard to really hold fast to God's promises. So we've got Psalm 91:14. Because he loves me, and said the Lord, I will rescue him, I will protect him, for he acknowledges my name. Isaiah 65:24, New Living Translation. I will answer them before they even call to me. While they are still talking about their needs, I will go ahead and answer their prayers. Psalm 17:6-8, New Living Translation. I am praying to you because I know you will answer, O God. Bend down and listen as I pray. Show me your unfailing love and wondrous ways. By your mighty power you rescue those who seek refuge from their enemies. Guard me as you would guard your own eyes. Hold me in the shadow of your wings. There's also a song that really I've played on many occasions, especially if I woke up in the middle of the night. This song always came to me. I listened to loads of worship songs to get me through, but this one really spoke to me, and I felt God had given me this one as well. The song, and don't worry, I'm not going to sing it because I can't sing. Love to sing, but I can't sing. But anyway, it's called Casting Crowns, and what I'll do, I'll just read a wee bit of it to you. But if you get a wee chance, you can maybe have a wee listen to it. It's Casting Crowns. Great are you, Lord. And he is a mighty, great Lord. You give life, you are love, you bring light to the darkness, you give hope, you rescue every heart that is broken. Great are you, Lord, because it's your breath in our lungs. So we pour out our praise, It's your breath in our lungs. So we pour out our praise to you only. It goes on like that, but it really just spoke to me because the situation that Tommy was in, that he needed God's breath and his lungs. He needed his spirit to fill every part of his body. That's really me. That's me kind of said my wee bit. I hope you've got something out of it. I hope you enjoyed it. So I'll let you go now. Bye.